It is Thursday, January 11th, 6:30 on the nose. Our special meeting will begin. First item on the agenda is the voucher review
Mr. Chair.
for December. Yes.
You probably want to take note of who's here, attendance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Commissioner Merrill, Commissioner Hoffmeyer, Commissioner Singleton, and Commissioner Harden are all here. Commissioner Holly is absent. Okay, now first item on the agenda is the voucher review for December.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve district voucher 7786 through 7834 for the total of $29,019 and the payroll transfer M&O account of $34,451.03.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, there is a motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the vote is unanimous. Okay, so we'll go about getting that signed. Okay, the second item on our agenda is the election of officers for 2018. Is there a motion?
I'd like to, I'm going to hold on so I make sure I put the motion out there correctly.
Okay.
Nominate.
Yes, I'd like to motion that we nominate for president, vice president, and
Secretary.
secretary. I was about to say, wait a minute, I'm missing one, for 2018.
All right. Who would you like to nominate? Is that how you want to go about it, and then see if you get a second, or?
I was going to... So,
We're going to have the kinks there, Tin Man?
well, I'm trying to say, the way we've done this in the past is, yeah, we've asked for nominations from the board, and the board's come up with nominations, so I guess I was going to put a motion out there that we nominate and elect officers for the 2018 year, so we can actually vote on that motion. And then as we discuss it, we can ask for nominations.
All right,
Okay.
let's do it.
So.
Okay, so second. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All those in favor?
Oh, discussion, sorry.
The motion was to move ahead with discussion, all right?
Nomination.
Okay. Is there discussion? Okay. All right, so all those in favor of moving ahead with that?
Aye.
Okay.
Any nominations? So I'd like to nominate Commissioner Hoffmeyer for vice chair.
Okay. All those in favor?
Well,
Second?
I think you have to accept the nomination. Sorry, we're gonna
Yes,
walk
thank
through
you.
this.
This is what I'm saying.
We're gonna
Yes,
walk through this.
we nominate, you gotta accept, and then we're gonna see if there's any other nominations. That's correct.
I got you. Yes, I would accept that.
Okay?
Can we have discussion?
Of course.
Okay, so I realize we usually do this a little more formally, but I don't actually see the need to do that right now, if everyone else is okay with that. Is there someone who has a mind on being chairman, either of the two of you? I'm just, you know what, I'm just throwing it out there, honestly.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do it.
Okay. I wanted to see where we were going with this, and if you had it in mind, because I have no intentions of being an officer. So I'm like, and there are 3 offices, and I don't know. So I thought, you know what, let's get this out there. So, okay then.
And with the chair not making motions, typically it was
Yeah.
awkward, so thank you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just, let's make sure if we all know how this shakes out. All right.
Okay with that down there? Commissioner Harden?
Would you?
I do not want to be the chair.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt the
ma'am.
proceedings. I believe that he accepted the nomination.
Yes, ma'am.
And now I will let you all finish what you're doing.
Can I nominate Commissioner Harden then for secretary?
I would prefer not to be secretary right now until I have a chance to feel like I know what's going on
Yes, ma'am.
and how things are done.
Yes, ma'am.
What we have done over the last year and a half was kind of a rope-in type secretary, and I had asked Pat about that before the meeting as well, and it kind of seemed like, maybe 6 months down the road, when she kind of, knows what's what, she might be willing to do that. So I don't know if we want to stick with the revolving secretary for another 6 months. That's an option, or if somebody wants to nominate somebody else, we can do that as well.
I definitely don't want to nominate Commissioner Holly since she's not here.
Correct.
She would not accept.
Yeah,
She would
yeah,
not accept.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
don't think
very-
that's the
she
right
would not
thing to do.
accept.
Yeah, because that's typically, I know past boards, we've years ago did that to the unfortunate victim that wasn't here.
No, when she was new on the board, we tricked her.
Yes.
We didn't tell her that
And
she could
so-
refuse the nomination. We did.
Yes, and so I don't think we should do that. That's the right way to go
I
forward.
don't think
So,
that's the right way to start out. No.
then,
If everyone else is comfortable, I mean, if we could say rotating for 6 months, if we're cool with that, it's, do I love it? No, but it's, if that's what we got, that's what we got.
All right.
So,
so I'd like to make a motion that we elect myself as chair, Shane as the vice chair, and go with a roving secretary for the next 6 months.
Is there a second?
second.
Okay, discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Okay, the motion is unanimous. So, I believe we have a new chair.
Nope.
You want to
Get you for the rest
see
of
out the meeting? All right.
For the rest of
Okay,
this.
okay. So, the next item is to set our 2018 meeting dates. I believe staff probably has some recommendations here as well.
Yeah, you all should each have a calendar in front of you, if you don't. But basically, the fourth Thursday is pretty standard throughout the year. It would just be November and December that I'm recommending changes. Well, obviously, we don't want to have it on Thanksgiving Day. My recommendation in November is Tuesday the 20th, and for December would be Thursday the 20th of December, so that we're not trying to have a meeting in between Christmas and New Year's.
I would have one question about the date, and that is, what day is Thanksgiving? Is it the 22nd?
22nd.
29th?
22nd.
22nd. So it's the fourth Thursday. Was that too close to Thanksgiving for you?
It could be.
I agree actually. And so I don't know if we would want to move it, I don't.
To the
If I was
15th?
going to be the only one, I was like, well, I can work with this meeting, but part of it is it's difficult to know right now.
Would it be better to move it, Steve? Would it be better to move it forwards or backwards, given
I
the
would do that. If
vouchers?
you're not going to do it on the 20th, then I would go to the next week one day. You can go
Okay.
to the 29th or any day prior if you don't want to. If you go to the 29th, you're basically, you're 3 weeks. That's plenty of time. You can go to the 29th if you want to keep it on Thursday, or basically any night the next week, if the worry is that you may not be.
Is there a reason why we can't move it up?
I would prefer moving it to the 15th instead of the 29th.
I just know that, over the last, sometimes there's a hard time getting all the vouchers and stuff together by
The
then.
treasurer's report might be, that would be the only challenge to the 15th, probably.
Right, but as we currently are, I'd rather move it forward and then say we can't meet that and move it out, rather than the other way around.
Okay?
And in light that we'll be working on a budget, hopefully then,
Mhm.
for completion.
29th.
Yeah, to be completed and finished before December, that way we can have it signed to the county. I'd rather go the 15th, that way if we have to do a special meeting for the budget, we know ahead of time and not scrambling at the last minute.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe the 15th for November,
All right.
con 20th. Please.
What's that?
What are you thinking on December?
Personally, earlier would be a little bit better, but I don't, it's, again, we have people who come from out of town. Sorry, I really feel like it. And then this one time, no, but it's, right? I just feel like I'm telling you, well, my aunt, Sue has the sciatica. I don't even know what that is. But yeah, I literally don't know what that is. Personally, I'd have preferred a little bit earlier, just because the holidays really start a little bit earlier for us, but you know, again, I mean, it's, if I'm the only, if 4 out of 5 are good, or 3 out of 4 in this case, then we leave it.
But I don't see anything wrong with doing it earlier that week. I mean, it's a holiday, so I mean, I think people expect it to be less than standard anyway. I mean,
So maybe
you could
like
move it up to
18th.
Monday or Tuesday or something, yeah.
Maybe we said the 18th.
Tuesday the 18th, I think so.
So I'd like to make a motion that for next year's meeting dates, we use the 4th Thursday of every month, with the exceptions of November 15th and December 18th for our regular scheduled meetings.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, further discussion.
Could we vote on 2018 first?
Did I say 2019?
You said next year.
Yes, ma'am, I did. I'd like to amend my motion to make it for the meetings for 2018, thank you, for the 4th Thursday of every month, with the exception of November 15th and December 18th.
Okay, it's been amended. Is there
I
still
will
a second?
second that.
Yes, okay. Further discussion? No? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The motion carries unanimously and the calendar for 2018 is set. The third item on the agenda here is to set public official training date. That is what we do with our insurance company, their CIAW, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
So, basically, the calendar is good too. The 23rd, 24th of this month are out, and the 7th and 8th of next month are out. Wednesdays typically aren't good for them. Tuesdays and Thursdays are okay. Thursdays being better for him to come over here, but other than Wednesdays and those 4 days that I gave you, he's pretty good. And I would recommend that it be sooner rather than later. But again, I'll take back whatever you guys come up with.
Is this an evening event?
Yeah, it's about a 2-hour, maybe go a little longer. But it's Open Public Meetings Act, and then it's elected officials liability. Those are the 2 main topics he covers.
So did you say the 1st and the 15th were possibilities?
Yes.
Or not good?
Yeah, they're good. 1st and the 15th of February are possibilities. That's why, so you have a Xerox copy of mine. Those are the earliest 2 that I thought were feasible to try to.
You're the one that works out of town, so what's your calendar looking like?
First, I can do the first.
Okay, would the first work for you, Wendy?
I am not, I take the state training, so I'm not planning to attend again. Yeah, I'm all legal and good.
I don't, neither the 1st nor 15th are really good for
Okay.
me. But
No, when works for you, Ben?
that's about the only 2 days that are not.
Okay.
I don't have much of a life, but
But you do then.
What about Tuesday the 6th?
Started.
Would Tuesday the 6th work for you?
that's fun.
Okay. All right.
You guys want me to? Okay, I will go back then and confirm that the 6th is good for him, because I don't know what's changed in their schedule.
Okay.
They may have filled. Is there an alternate to that I can go back if the 6th doesn't work? Do you want to go 13th? Do you want to go 20th? You want to move into March, on March 1st?
No.
No? Okay.
13th okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 13th would be great.
Okay, that's what I will go back and then I'll send an email out to her.
Nice, cool.
So it looks like that's that. I don't think we need a motion or nothing there then. Wendy did bring up a good point there. For any new commissioners or returning commissioners, the Washington State Attorney General's office has an OPMA and there's another requirement.
Public Records Act.
And a Public Records Act. It's a little, it might be like an hour online seminar. I think you can get to it through their website. And I know it's
I can send the
required.
link.
If you could send it out, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll do that.
okay.
And how often do we have to take it?
Once every 4 years.
Then we need to take it again.
And it's something new. I think they came out with it 3 years ago, maybe?
It was 2014.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and there actually were some updates to,
Yeah,
okay.
right after so January of 16, most of y'all did it again.
Right, but what I was gonna say is for public records officers, there were updates to the law in 2017. That's,
Excellent.
Alrighty, so we're gonna move ahead to
So
the,
you're going to send us those links?
yes, I will, yeah, and we aren't public records officers, if that was just for anybody who's actually pulling the public records, but, or providing them or interfacing or whatever that word is. But yeah, I'll send you the links,
Awesome.
because you can either do the video stuff or they have PowerPoints, which is what from my learning style, that's what I prefer.
And they are, if you didn't see it in the email, because I think it's not, it's first initial, last name, so S. Merrill, P. Harden, at Oak Harbor Pool would be the way we set up.
okay, thank you, Wendy. We're gonna move ahead to the fourth and final item on our agenda here. Short-term, one-year strategic plan for operations and levy prep. This is something that Commissioner Merrill had asked to have added, and I'm very glad to see it. And I think probably to start with the discussion here. Is that what you're thinking?
Just have discussion tonight and put an idea out there that we can discuss on the 25th.
Okay.
And there was discussion about having I had discussed some ideas with the director, and we had mentioned the workshop, but with time constraints and trying to get everybody together, I think the idea of doing a workshop at a regular scheduled meeting would probably be better for all commissioners. It's an idea. Let me know if that's not correct. But what I'd like to do is set up some goals for this year with some, objectives and timelines and measurables that are deliverable to all of us. Whether it's and some of the things I think we need to discuss are messaging and how we're going to deliver the message, who the message needs to go to, which part of the communities the levy failed at, and which part of the communities the levy passed at, which we already know. And then how we're going to get that message out there, how we're going to move ahead, how do we regain the public's trust and confidence, and what we do as a board and as a district, because we have shut our doors. The worst thing in the world to see is that dark pool and nobody swimming in it, and I know we all agree on that. And how do we work going forward? And I think we need to do that sooner rather than later. I believe we should do that at the next meeting, and I want those ideas out there now so that we can all think about it, come back with it. It's an opportune time to talk about this now, and then know we're going to be back here in a couple of weeks. And I also wanted to invite and do it as a workshop so we could have the 501(c) group, the Friends of the Pool group here, so they can partake, and it's an open discussion, and we can open it to community members that may want to have positive influence and injects to it. So that was my idea for the next meeting on the 25th. Have a small breakout session so we don't violate the Open Public Meeting Act, and we can have that open discussion, and we can tell people about it beforehand. We can all come with our ideas and a way forward. So that's basically what it's about.
I think that sounds like a good plan. Do we expect that we would start that an hour before the meeting, or would it commence after the regular meeting was over?
My suggestion, because I think if we start too early with the 6:30 start time, we run into cutting people out that may want to be here. Because if you go earlier in the day, folks with other jobs and commitments, at the same time we don't want to go too late as we're here. But I think if we set a time for that workshop, we can always come back to it, and it sets the ground running. And I'd like to get that plan out there sooner. Commissioner Harden.
Commissioner Harden?
How do you expect to get the word out to people that might be, I know you mentioned the 501(c) group, but I think that we need to get it out to more people than just, I think that's a fabulous group. I'm very impressed with it. But I think we need also other ways of getting word out.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. We got the pools, that webpage and Facebook that's readily accessible. Do we have an open avenue to channel 10 or 11, whichever it is, the government channel?
I've never used it, but I know there's a way.
Okay. It would be nice if we could see it, to broaden the platform, and maybe we do bring in somebody with a new idea on how to get us through this here. Also, I don't know if it would be worth shooting something out to the Chamber of Commerce et cetera. I know they have a pretty big group as well.
And, you know, before the election, we had a group of people that we emailed that were interested in the pool. Would there be any problem with me getting an email to them?
With the pool area being closed, if there's a large enough turnout, it's easy to move out there to the bleachers, et cetera, if we have to.
So
I would say, right?
what time are we saying that that meeting will
The
happen?
meeting starts at 6:30.
So that, we would do that first.
It would be one of the items in
One of
in
the
the
first.
agenda items, and we'd say we'd break out for a workshop, but we could definitely, depending on our response, I would think, move when that workshop takes place ahead in the agenda as towards what kind of response we get. Thoughts?
I think it's a good, I mean, I think yours is a good idea in that moving it to the front, you know, that if somebody just wanted to come, if there's a format, I'm not sure what you're looking for in terms of format, but if somebody had a limited amount of time and they wanted to come and give their input and they didn't enjoy this process, which is hard to believe, but if they didn't, that they could still give their inputs, that, you know, for people who kind of, or who walk in and kind of like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing here, put them in a direction instead of having them sit and wait and testing maybe their patience and the amount of time that they have to spare. If we could.
Yeah, that's what we could. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Definitely think we should. So start with the workshop and then start the meeting at 7.
If we could, yeah. I mean, I would think if we're trying to be, if we have a set expectation of what we want to get out of it, we can hopefully time box the activity well enough that, hey, we got the inputs we needed, and now we're going to go do this with them. It sounds like you have a vision for it, and I'm not sure what that is, but I'm assuming that, you know, we can
I will be
time box the
happy to
activity.
share that with all
Sure.
5 of us through the administrators so that everybody has a peek at it before.
Yeah, no, sure.
And actually, you could send it out to everybody. That would be great. We'll send that out on all the outlets.
Maybe the newspaper can help us too.
We have an online calendar
Okay.
that's island-wide. It's self-user, so you can go in and submit it, and it gives us an email notification, and we can put it in our calendar.
Awesome, thank you.
That'd be very handy. You got all that over there? Yep. I see the pin going.
I'll work on that.
Okay.
One suggestion though
Yeah,
too, if, not that you don't have enough to do, I'll call him new chair, but you, if you had the time, perhaps you would even consider writing a letter to the editor to invite people to come, or something to that effect.
I could probably do that.
I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
on that.
if they, you know, perhaps that would be, you know, it's certainly a certain demographic, I think, that reads the paper more than others, but it would be great to have
Well, then we'll decide the discussion.
as wide a distribution as possible.
Congratulations.
Okay. We typically, you know, in most of our meetings, we don't go back and forth, but I did hear there's a question. So what was your question?
Well, I've never been to this, so,
I recognize that. That's why I thought I'd ask, yeah.
so I don't know the protocol of
Okay.
what.
At our regular board meetings, they begin right near the beginning with public comment. Special board meetings typically don't have public comment. So this meeting was, biggest reason this meeting was called, we didn't have a quorum in our December meeting. So we had to get our vouchers and all that signed.
Okay, so the
Okay.
reason why I'm here,
Mhm.
I received an email from a friend who said that they're going to be discussing the pool, opening it, or whatever, tonight. And so that's why I'm here, is because I definitely want to see it opened again.
Absolutely.
But I don't know exactly, you know, you're all talking over my heads, which is fine because I don't understand it all, but I don't know if this is where people are going to be discussing it, or if that workshop you were talking about is what you're going to be discussing.
It'll be the workshop. Yeah, special meetings are kind of awkward and cumbersome, but we're only allowed to discuss what's on a special meeting agenda. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
So you know where we're at. Our levy failed twice last year.
Yes.
And it's a maintenance and operation levy. It wasn't a new tax, it was an existing one that allows us to operate the pool.
Right.
And that failed twice.
Yes.
And with the Washington Administrative Code, we cannot run that levy again for another calendar year.
Yes,
So since it failed, we do not have the funds to open the pool. The pool had to close.
right,
So the pool will remain closed until another alternative is found as far as funding, which is not there right now.
Right.
Or we're able to pass the levy again next November. Since we ran it and it failed the last time in November's election, we cannot run it until November of 2018, the current year.
right.
And then we wouldn't get money from that levy until first quarter, which is January.
We'll get a little in,
December?
we'll get a little in January, a little in February, a bit more in March. It'll be April, May before we get any real money.
So even if we pass that, the pool will not be opened right away after November of next year.
Right.
So one of the things we would also look at is there's a 501(c) and there's other ways we're looking at reaching out to see if we can open the pool between now and then. But we don't know what that is currently.
Well, I have a suggestion.
Yes, ma'am.
I belong to a church that's pretty big in the community, and I know I'll be saying some stuff to a bunch of people and trying to get more activity from their part to participate, I guess, in this workshop is what it sounds to me they need to be at. Is that something that other churches, I mean, I know that the church and state thing can't happen or whatever, but are there other church communities that would like to open it up to their parishioners to be able to?
We open the workshop up to everybody that lives in the district. And our district is the same as the school district.
Right.
Okay? There's limitations on who and what can donate to where, but those are things we can point people in the right direction to. Okay?
It'll be okay for me to tell my friends that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And ask them
Yeah, but it
to
says
maybe
approved.
participate at this 25th meeting. To
Absolutely.
be able to
And it has
at
to-
least let you guys know the interest that
Yeah.
is still out there.
That would be awesome.
It was very sad.
And, I mean, I don't know if you saw how close it was. I think it was like 90 votes that it needed to have passed.
What was that?
I think it failed by about 90 votes. So one church could make that difference easily. So
Exactly.
absolutely.
And that's really sad,
It is.
because there's a lot of people. Can I make one little suggestion? I know this is probably not even have anything to do with it. I know one of the complaints that I've heard in many people is the pool is on the cool side, and I know that they like to keep it cool for the master swimmers, but if it was warmer, you might get more interest in people coming and wanting it. But I've talked to many other people that have other pools, and they say this is the coldest pool.
We will certainly look into it. Seeing that I already opened it up, there's not very many people here. Anybody else have anything else? Okay. Seeing none, our next meeting, as we've already discussed quite a bit, will be Thursday, January 25th, 2018 at 6:30. Is there a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the meeting is adjourned at 6:59.